going on, peoples? Welcome to another Al York Sports Show. I'm giving a special tribute to Ben Roethlisberger. Terrible Towers in the building, baby. I got to give it up to Big Ben. Not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but, won a lot of money with Big Ben, especially in them fourth quarter comebacks. And like I said, man, if I love you or if you're a Hall of Famer, man, I'm going to have to give up a tribute, man. That's how I do, man. Salute to Big Ben and everybody enjoy the tribute, man. Real talk. Big Ben, Terrible Towers, baby. Steel curtain in the building. Curtain in the building, baby. Big Roethlisberger. Tribute to Big Ben, baby. Here we go. Let me take this off real quick. Okay, I'll leave it right there. All right, let's go, guys. Another episode. Another tribute, man. Just gave one to Tom Brady, but don't even know if he's coming back, but it don't matter. Okay, let's start off by saying go to YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Y'all already know, man. Keep doing the good work. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, Las Vegas, New York City, LES to the death. Nueva York, Nueva York. Shout out to Dwayne Beeman. You know what I mean? April 1st, you already know what it is. Also, shout out to SOS Studios at yahoo.com. You need all the instrumentals at my man Bishop Brown. Shout out to Tugboat. Shout out to Credit Fix. You need Credit Fix. Hit me up. IG me. Inbox me. Email me, al.newyork@yahoo.com. Never too late to get your credit fixed. Need advertisement? Hit me up and I'll hook you up. Hit me up and I'll hook you up. And every Friday, open sessions and giveaways. Let a friend know. The more, the merrier. All right, let's start off with my man Big Ben Roethlisberger, a.k.a. Big Ben. 11th overall pick in the 2004 NFL Draft. Big Ben was born March 2nd, 1982. He's 39 years young. Now, I'm going to give you some numbers, and then I'm going to continue to talk about Big Ben. But let me throw these numbers at you. 18-year career. QB record was 165, 81, and 1. Completion rate, 64.4% throughout his career. Yards, 64,000 yards. 418 touchdowns, 211 interceptions. 6-time Pro Bowler. 2-time NFL champion. Ben was 13-10 in the playoffs in his career with 36 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. The guy's definitely a first ballot Hall of Fame in my book. And let me continue to talk about Big Ben. In my opinion, when Pittsburgh picked him up at the 11th overall pick out of Miami, Ohio, I immediately knew this was a perfect fit. I don't know, Steel City, a hungry, young, tall white kid from Findlay, Ohio. I just knew it was a perfect fit. Now, I did not know he would succeed as quickly as he did. No. But I knew it was a great fit. Going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Big Ben was like mobile, but not mobile. Let me explain what that means. He really couldn't run and get you 10 yards if it was wide open. Even if it was all like real estate, he couldn't get it. But Ben was terrific in sneaking in behind his tackle. Defensive man's trying to grab him. Throwing a 4-yard pass for the first down. Or, just people hanging on him in general and won't go down, especially in his early career of his time, his early playing days. I mean, guys were grabbing on him, Ray Lewis, all type of people, you know what I mean? was still able to let the ball go. One of the best guys in busted plays or stretching out plays. It almost seemed like whatever play was called, Ben would do the opposite, meaning like he'll jump out that play with pump fakes. Another thing he did great was pump faking. Nobody pump fake like Big Ben. He might have pump faked a little too much, but Ben was terrific back there. You really didn't know what to expect out of him. And as matters like, when it comes to like, what play was going to take place. I mean, he can have a screenplay that was busted up, turned into a touchdown bomb. You know what I mean? Ben was so unpredictable. That's what made him dangerous, and that's what drove defensive crazy. I mean, how do you set up for this guy? Whatever play's being called, 90% of the time, he's not going to go with that unless it's a handoff or a short 2-yard pass. Best QB I ever seen in busted plays or stretching plays out was Ben Roethlisberger. Also, let me see what I got here. Ben was tough as nails. There was a playoff game against the Colts where he basically saved the game. He handed the ball off at the 1-yard line. It was a fumble that was picked up by Bob Sanders. If Bob Sanders would have ran that back for a touchdown, that would have been game over for the Colts. Colts would have won that game. Bob Sanders picked it up, and all you see was Ben running like towards midfield, going this way, going that way. He had his back to Bob Sanders. His back, not his front. And I don't know how he made this tackle, but he assumed right, turned this way. Bob Sanders tried to cut back. Ben stuck his arm out and barely made the tackle. And I'm telling you, if Bob Sanders scores, Steelers don't win the chip that year. They would have lost in Indianapolis that year. That play loomed huge for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was their season. Like I said, if Sanders scored, it was ball game. Stopped them. Defense came on, got to stop. End up getting the ball back, kicked the field goal. I know at the end of the game, they beat the Colts in the playoffs that year. And then the incredible throw that he made in the Super Bowl to Santonio Holmes, where he threaded it through like 2-3 defenders. Holmes also made a great catch, keeping his 2 feet inbounds, stretching out, making the catch and the inbounds, being inbounds for a dramatic Pittsburgh Steelers victory against the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, what else do you want out of Big Ben? The guy proved everything. He might have turned the ball over a lot late in his career, fumbled a lot, because he was still trying to make those plays that he was making as a young man. And as you get older, it's like boxing or anything else. You have to change your game up. And in a lot of ways, Big Ben didn't change his game up. That's why the last couple of years, even though he had, great yardage numbers, great touchdown numbers, but he had a lot of fumbles and a lot of interceptions because he never could make that late adjustment, like Tom Brady did and all these guys that quarterback after like 35 years plus. But Ben was always still effective, old school way of quarterbacking. Like I said, he was tough as nails. He was there 18 years. He's just a Pittsburgh Steelers. There's no other way to put it. Let me see what else I got here. He was a stud. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can say about Big Ben. The only knock I got on him was 2 allegations. I hate to bring this up on his tribute, but if I'm going to be the raw truth, I got to do it. He had 2 rape allegations against him, and they kind of swept that under the table. I wasn't too fond of that. If you got one, I can understand, but like I told my boy Phyllis Jacino, who's a diehard Steeler fan, to get 2 of them looks bad. But the Pittsburgh organization did a great job of sweeping it under the table. I don't know how they got that away from him, and he just, after that, got married, made kids, and just decided to change his whole life around. And like I said, we all make mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm perfect, because I'm not. We all make mistakes. But he got real lucky, because that could have been a mistake that could have probably, ended his career, or he would not have been a Hall of Famer, losing 3 years, 4 years. Let's say if he would have got incarcerated and convicted, then anything could have happened. But, hoping in God's eyes he was innocent. Because if he was innocent, they got an innocent man right now who prolonged his career after that situation. And not only is a Hall of Famer, is considered a great husband and a great father. Salute to Big Ben. Let me give you some numbers. 5th overall in passing yards, like I said, at 64,000. Passing touchdowns, he's 8th with 417. Highest passing rating at 93.6. He's 7th. And in most game-winning drives, he's 4th with 52. But he's got the most fourth-quarter comebacks with 58. Now, there's people that might be like, if he got fourth-quarter comebacks, that means that he's been trailing all those games. So there's like a good and a bad to that, because that means you've been trailing. So if you've been trailing, that means the opposing team, 9 times out of 10, played better than you for 3 quarters. But if you're just going to look at it like fourth-quarter comeback and forget all that other stuff, then he's number 1 at 58. And like I said, Ben Roethlisberger, I can say I'm a fan of his. Won me a lot of money. I mean, it's not just going to money. I seen the guy do incredible things with so little ability. I mean, I know he's a big guy. That's the advantage he has over other quarterbacks. He's harder to take down. But Ben Roethlisberger can't run a lick. We all know that. He risked a lot of passes, especially in the latter part of his career. Took a lot of chances, kind of like Brett Favre. But early in his career, like when I say early, maybe the first half of his career, he was sensational, man. I mean, Ben would wing it. Ben would, whatever it took to win the game. Big Ben and the Steelers were never out of football game as long as they had Big Ben Roethlisberger in the game. And with that, I'm going to end it with this here. Salute to Big Ben. Terrible Towers. Steel City. All the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I'm not a fan. I'm just representing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Being a sports talk guy, a journalist, a beat writer, whatever you want to call me. Internet, sensational, whatever you want to call me. I gotta represent when it's time to represent. And salute to Ben Roethlisberger, a.k.a. Big Ben. Salute, big dog. Much love.